A quick disclaimer. Everything I say here is my own personal observations, theories and opinions and should only be taken as such. So, I said I was gonna do a video about the paranormal and supernatural forces in and around Picture Canyon. Well, I ended up recording it 5 times and I really wasn't happy with it. It felt as if I was going in circles. I couldn't find any details for what I had in mind, so I scrapped it for now, though I will leave some questions about such activities in this video here at the end. Okay, let's start then. In case you're new to the Kenny Veach and M Cave mystery, at one point Kenny claimed to have found a hidden cave that made his body vibrate. The cave scared him and he didn't go in, he didn't record it either. So he set out to look for it a second time and he didn't find it. Supposedly he went to look for it a third time and that's when he disappeared. He's been missing since November 2014. The comment I showed has been deleted at one point and all we have now are screenshots. Right. The search and rescue team found Kenny's phone near the mineshaft where he starts his M Cave hiking video. The first set of questions I cannot find the answers to begin here. What state was his phone in? Did it look as if it's been thrown there, or was it placed meticulously to shield it from weather exposure? Was there any indication of struggling, fighting, anything suggesting that Kenny possibly wasn't alone and that his phone fell out as a result of fighting with someone else? Who were the last people he called? Was his call log ever investigated? What was on his phone in terms of pictures, videos, recording, files, etc.? Any final goodbyes, for example, or his last will and testament? And speaking of last will and testament, was he ever presumed dead? At least that's what I believe the term is. So what happened to Kenny's properties? Who controls them and who owns them now and why? I remember I've seen details that on Kenny's computer he was supposedly searching help me, but again, in what context? Did his house look normal? Were there any signs of forced entry, anything to suggest that he wasn't alone when typing this? The room in which he used the computer to type help me, again, what state was it in? Was there anything to suggest that Kenny might not have been in sound mind? For example, empty alcohol bottles, other substances, stuff like this. Same goes for his car. Anything to suggest that he wasn't alone or that he wasn't, I guess, sober when he left his car? Kenny's self-proclaimed girlfriend Sharon Pilgrim. So what? She pops out of the woodwork and claims that Kenny was battling depression for many years, but that he wasn't taking medications or seeing a doctor. Okay, so who diagnosed him then? Sharon herself? The same supposed girlfriend who told him, in her own words, "You're not gonna pull off a Robbie Williams on me, are you?" Was she questioned? What about the rest of his family? Neighbors, former employers, colleagues, anyone close to him? Were they ever contacted to give any details about Kenny? Today, if you go to the NEM US webpage and look for unidentified bodies in Nevada, you'd get many results. A fair warning though, some of the case files include graphic, detailed photos of the deceased, so view at your own risk. My point is, many unidentified remains were found since November 2014. Has anyone from Kenny's family asked for DNA samples to know if any of the unidentified remains belong to him? I mean, potentially this could bring closure to the case, right? Though of course, I'm really not sure how this works and if they can even request such DNA samples and analysis to be made, but you know, it's just a thought. Another thing, in 2018 a man broke in a spiritual healing store in Las Vegas owned by Debbie Veach. That's right, a family member. I believe his sister-in-law, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, the man who broke in looks identical to Kenny Veach. I wonder if this has ever been followed up, since nowadays we should have the technology to do a facial comparison, you know, to see if it can confirm if this is Kenny Veach or not. Now, finally, some questions about the paranormal and supernatural experiences that hikers have had out there. First, Do you believe that the M cave is a portal which only shows up under specific circumstances? For example, the equilibrium, the equinox, the eclipses. In the general area of Picture Canyon, are there any other known objects or places of interest that are connected to solar or lunar events? The phantom footsteps that have been reported. Whoever has experienced them, could you provide me with some more details? For example, such as how far did they sound like they were coming from? Was there any cadence to them, any rhythm? How long could you hear them for, or anything else you can think to add? Another thing, what local myths and legends are out there for the Desert National Wildlife Range? I know there's pictographs in Picture Canyon, but that makes me wonder, do we know if the natives who dwell there performed any summoning rituals, for example? Maybe the strange sounds and footsteps could be made by a guardian entity reminding the curious explorers that they shouldn't overstay their welcome. And what about killings in the area? Was that something that happened often enough to where it would become part of the local lore? Is it possible, for example, that the spirits of those people taken against their will remain in the area? Maybe that could be the source of some of the strange occurrences? And finally, the crystal skull that was found in the mineshaft. Could Kenny have placed it there? Could it be a memento mori or a marker of some sort? Furthermore, I've read that crystal skulls can supposedly be connected to one another. Is it then possible that whoever placed it there has a twin skull and they used it to perform remote viewing with the one in the mineshaft? Alright, that's the questions done with for now. The reason I'm asking this is because I wonder if Kenny was alone on his final hike or if he even made the decision by himself to go out there. Honestly, his entire family seems suspicious to me. Supposedly his own daughter didn't want to call search and rescue for any updates or details about his case, and she wasn't aware that they've been out there looking for him many times up to 2020. I mean, what sort of sense does that make? And his ex, Sharon? I don't even know where to begin with her. I mean, she claims he's depressed and suicidal. I cannot tell if she's helped him deal with it. I don't know why she held on that extra footage from his M cave hike for 7 fucking years. I mean, what else is she hiding? Man, what a mess. Anyway, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts and opinions about this. If you have any answers to my questions, or anything else you'd like to add to the Kenny Veach case, or the topic of this video. Thanks for watching and bye bye.